superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock's like, I can't do anything, but the only person who probably could do this is Peter Parker, because Peter Parker is super smart, and I'm afraid to admit it, but I'm going to admit it now for story reasons. And then
I thought I wiped him out of my mind, but there's a little lockbox in there. Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse. With your host, the man who's the retcon cousin of the Sandman, because we have the same hairstyle. D.Y. John. And my co-host,
the man who decided that I hate people because no logical reasons, Carl Charles. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
that's literally like when I saw the backstory, I was like, that's literally okay. That's a weird take for it, but sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So in this today's episode, we're going to be having a look at part of the Spider-Man's road gallery, the Green Goblin. Well, the Green Goblins and some other goblins that also have continuity with each other. Not the Hobgoblins. We'll do that separately.
Yeah,
the Hobgoblin, Demo Goblin.
Yeah.
They are to the side. Phil Ulrich, because he kind of escapes in the middle, we'll just talk about his Green Goblin stuff, and then we'll go to Hobgoblin stuff over there. But there's like 7 Hobgoblins and 5 Green Goblins.
Yeah.
And then you got the Grey Goblins, the Red Goblin,
like Goblin,
about before, the
Queen Goblin,
Little Normie when it was a Red Goblin. What did they call him?
Oh, Red Goblin, but I think it's like Kid Goblin because he's a part of like he was part of a team. I think he still is, which is random.
Yeah. And then we'll cover here as well the Menace and Monster as well.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Funny enough, I will be talking about more retro stuff because that's what I know more, and you'll be speaking about post Brand New Day stuff because Brand New Day was the point where I was just like, first of all, 3 times a week, 3 times a month. That's kind of.
I think it's back like that now, isn't it? I think with Spider-Man because it's getting split into 2, where one's going to space and one's staying. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Back in the day when they had up to 4 Spider-Man titles, which was Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man,
and Peter Parker Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, that's after. That's after the clone saga. It was just Spider-Man. It was Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man at one point, but then they all had their own stories, like all the Batman titles, and then they decided crossover, make up more money, right?
Yeah, because crossovers make money, buddy.
And then when they hit Brand New Day, they decided, let's just cancel everything, just make Amazing Spider-Man, and make everyone who has paid for Spider-Man comes buy 3 times as much. And you're like, nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're going to, fair enough, you do a lot of work to patch up after one more day. However, spamming
like 3 a title a week. Like, not even a title, just that series a week. Is a month, sorry. That's just too much.
Yeah, you could have just kept it all separate, and then you could have run whatever title you wanted to collect, but then just have the boxes or something like saying this interweaves with that. This happened before this or whatever. So people that want to collect all of that can. Anyways. So the first Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man title. Actually, you know what? When he made his first appearance, the Green Goblin.
It was it was like issue. It was in the 60s, like 63 something, in it. And then he made his appearance, and then you don't find out who he is till like 4 issues later, in it. And then the mind wipe stuff keeps happening.
Wait, you say 4 issues? No, I think maybe 40 issues later, maybe.
Something like that.
25 issues later.
Yeah, because it's in the background, like him doing all his stuff, and then
But it's a good way that so he appears in Amazing Spider-Man issue 14, right? That means Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Electro, the Ringmaster, Sex of Crime, the Enforcers, the Lizard, all made appearances before him.
But yet he is the
and then the mystery is, who is he? Because every time he changes and stuff, like he has this mirror in front of his face or something you can't quite see, and he's in a suit or something, right? And Norman Osborn does make an appearance in like Spider-Man issue 25 or something like that. Some one of the earlier issues,
Yeah.
but it's not named. It's just the
Yeah.
dude with the Norman Osborn haircut,
Yeah. It's
which
not
they
till later
can't
on.
see. Then yeah. The funny thing is they reveal that so Green Goblin is terrorizing Spider-Man, and then
Yeah.
at issue 37, I think that's where they call the Norman Osborn character Norman Osborn, but Harry's already
Yeah.
been in the thing.
Yeah.
And then the issue after that is when he takes off his mask and reveals to Peter, "I am the Green Goblin."
Yeah.
And you're
Because
like,
you're gonna
okay, but
die, and you
yeah,
don't. You yeah.
hold on a second, just basically got named a second ago. So where
Yeah. But
did this come from?
like in the future, it seems like 50 years later. Like for us, like, okay, cool. But back then, I was being like super confused. Like, wait, what? This guy just appeared, and now he's.
I think they kind of tried to. They did. To be fair, it was like, okay, Harry's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. But even then,
It's a bit of a.
and I tell you what's also as well funny because the issue before that, he had to silence someone. Oh, the Green Goblin. No, Norman had to silence someone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't choose to do it as a Green Goblin. He chooses to have a hunting rifle.
Yeah.
On a rooftop somewhere, and shoot. Okay. Now, whether you see him in the Green Goblin guise or not, it doesn't matter because you only see just out his view just outside the panel, right?
Yeah.
The problem is though to me is like if he was a Green Goblin, why wouldn't he use the Green Goblin stuff to do that job? Why do you need a hunting rifle? You know, why don't you just go in there with your laser blaster or you throw your pumpkin bomb?
Well, like unless he was trying to like pin it on someone else, right? But still,
even then,
weird.
Yeah, there was a rumor going around way back in the day that Steve Ditko, who was with Stanley creating all this, he wanted to be some random jabroni, you know, take off this mask, right?
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Who's this guy?" Right?
Yeah.
And I think they did that before with some other guy, the Crime Master or something like that.
Because I know as well, like originally they wanted that Ditko wanted the Green Goblin to be some Egyptian, was like some Egyptian mythological demon or something like that, and he found him in sarcophagus. Yeah, and his name was like, no.
Sounds like what he did with Blue Beetle afterwards.
Yeah, and I think apparently this is one of the reasons why Ditko left Spider-Man as well, because they couldn't come to agreement with what the trajectory of the Green Goblin was going to be.
Exactly, but that's the thing, right? Looking at what I just said, where he shoots some guy with a rifle, then you're thinking, all right, it leans towards what Stan Lee's saying, where Ditko just wanted to be some random dude, yeah?
Yeah.
Because Norman was shooting someone else. But Ditko was like, no, I planted Norman in these pages. Way far back.
Yeah.
So I always knew who he was going to be, which also makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, then... So Green Goblin goes around killing people, or whatever it does, yeah?
Yeah.
And then there's one time that Norman needs to eliminate someone, he decides, Green Goblin ain't going to get his hands dirty.
No, Norman's going to get his hands dirty. The guy who has more to lose, in a way. I mean, like...
Yeah. Okay, right.
Sure. All
right. So as we were saying before, Norman is, I say supposedly, Spider-Man's arch nemesis. What do you think of that, in your opinion?
Yes, I would say, for me, right, it's my personal opinion, Spider-Man has, well, now he has, like, a 1A, 1B, like, arch nemesis, right?
Okay, and probably a 1C, but we'll get to that when you named your first two.
Yeah, but 1C kind of changed for me now anyway, but
okay.
I would agree. It's Doc Ock, and, so I'll say A is Green Goblin, B would be Doc Ock. Yeah.
And C would be Venom, right?
I was going to say Venom, but then Venom's not a villain or anything anymore, so...
Eddie Brock Venom most of the time, but...
Yeah.
I personally prefer Dr. Octopus over Green Goblin. Well, you're saying Norman Osborn Green Goblin, by the way, not Harry Osborn or any other Green Goblins.
I would say...
Green Goblin in general.
Green Goblin in general. Green Goblin in general, yeah. Because it's got the personal thing to it, and that's why I was like, that kind of...
That's what the awkward thing is there. Norman has, because he's the villain, he loses all the time, and then Harry Osborn doesn't actually have any superpowers, like none of that Goblin strength formula. So then he gets knocked down a notch in his threat level, and then the guy who took over from Harry, for one story, which we'll cover later on, Bart Hamilton, he had no powers either. And then Phil Ulrich, the fourth Green Goblin. We'll cover him later, but he was more of a hero than a villain.
Right? Yeah,
and
he's kind of
like a villain later on. And then the fifth one was just a construct, which you're like,
yeah,
you know. I'll get to that storyline afterwards as well,
right,
because you just do it in the chronological.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of Norman overall?
I
don't go, by the way, we know with Norman we could go so in depth, right? That'd be a whole episode in itself.
Yeah,
so
the whole
we'll just get what's relevant.
Yeah. With all the 50 years of history behind him, I like Norman Osborn. I think he made a great Green Goblin. The only problem I will have with the character, it's not with the character, it's with how Marvel use him. Like, somehow everything always comes back to him. Like, for example, like this is Sinister Superior Spider-Man, right? When out of nowhere he's part of the main conspiracy behind everything all, but he's changed his face and all that, and then the Goblin Nation stuff. Did it have to be him? And like with the Clone Saga, apparently he was always behind it. You know, stuff like that. Like, really, come on now, it's a bit.
Had a joke like with the Reverse Flash, right?
Yeah.
Where Peter stubbed his toe on a table leg. It was Normal that moved that table leg over there.
Yeah. It's like he paid someone to do it. Yeah, it's all that stuff.
Yeah, 20 years ago, he moved it just to obstruct Peter now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay.
But yes. Like you say, look, we'll try to do this chronologically with Norman.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, the key stories are the ones where he reveals himself as the Green Goblin, but somehow he makes a formula that can dull Spider-Man's spider sense, which I'm like,
see,
you're a businessman, not a scientist. You Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But it's not till later on they kind of make him into a scientist, don't they? Like, yeah, he's a scientist now, not a businessman. Yeah.
He was always mucking around with formulas, it seems. Actually, okay. So the one we have to cover just before Norman is a guy called Nels Van Adder. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
The Proto Goblin is called. He's a red one.
Okay. No, I've never heard of this geezer.
Okay, so he was in a one-off issue of Spider-Man -1. Like, I think it was the Peter Parker run of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As in, the one that just no adjective.
Yeah.
And the -1 issues are, they just like do stuff in the past.
Oh, it's sort of like fill in blanks or whatever.
Ish, yeah. Or adding story features they're gonna then
appear later, yeah.
Forward in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Except that, okay. So Norman's making these formulas, and then he tested, this guy quote unquote tested on himself, but Norman is, right? And it's the Proto Goblin, that's what he's called. Because it's the pre-Goblin formula.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And then Spider-Man has a fight with him, 15-year-old Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And then they tumble into some river somewhere, something like that. And then he disappears, right? You see him walking out of the river like Jason, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's it. And that was in 1990.
Okay.
And then 2024.
Yeah.
That was when the next appearance of this guy appears.
Oh.
Like, right, okay. So someone back then decided, you know what? I've read this. There's a plot point. I've got to patch it up.
Yeah. Or like that writer was a kid or something, like, oh, this is so amazing. When I'm gonna write this down. So when I become a writer, I'm gonna randomly bring this guy back.
No. This wasn't a Jeff Johns situation where Jeff Johns wrote into Superboy.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh yeah, the Superboy is made of Superman's DNA and that scientist from Kansas Labs.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, right?
Yeah.
And then Jeff Johns in the letters comes and says, oh, it'd be really cool if he was if they used Lex Luthor's DNA.
And they laughed at him.
yeah. They said, oh no. Unfortunately, we've already revealed who he is definitively. Yeah. And then Jeff Johns is like,
all right,
20 years later, where it is.
See you in 15 years.
yeah.
He got his payback. Yeah.
Which I do actually say, I think that is better. I do like the not that Superman and Lex Luthor had a baby, because that's right. It's just like, oh, he put his DNA together with a man who he hated the most.
Yeah.
To create a clone of him. Because obviously, if he can't have the powers, he could create something that has the powers.
Yeah,
right? And then be like, it was my superior DNA that created him the way he was.
Yeah, and it'd be under my thumb for yeah. So it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense.
Well,
And
in the
I
twisted
always
logic
liked
of look, if we thought the world through Lex Luthor logic, right, a lot of things make sense.
Yeah,
Except
yeah,
that they don't.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So
Goblin.
yeah, Proto Goblin. Yeah, and then the Proto Goblins, they were referenced in the 30 plus year from 63 where Spider-Man came out till 2025.
Yeah.
They got to figure out a way to write the story, and they had no reference to the story ever afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spider-Man has a tussle with the Proto Goblin, and then what it is each time he reaches a certain state, the Proto Goblin, he'll mutate to the next level.
Okay.
To the point where then his body over mutates, and then he turns into a puddle. Like, all right, okay, way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay? But then Emily Osborn makes an appearance in this as well, who's never mentioned in the 60s like that, because Harry meets her, because she gets the Proto Goblin to kidnap Harry and bring Harry to her so she can get custody over him instead of Norman, right? Because Norman will ruin your life, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And then Norman threatens her. You best disappear, woman, because otherwise you'll never see your son again.
Right? Yeah.
And then he sprays her with amnesia, whatever it is. Look, first of all, if you can make the amnesia spray, he can probably make the spider sense dulling spray, right?
Yeah.
It's just conveniently the stuff in this story is never referenced in the past because
no one thought of it, and well, why we need to do this?
Exactly. I don't know if you've read Old Tales of Spider-Man as well.
No.
Like Kurt Busiek was writing it, and he'd slot in his stories in between events that happened in the Steve Ditko Stan Lee run of Spider-Man.
Okay.
I don't know how well it fit in because I never read it, but Kurt Busiek's a very thorough writer, so he probably found it. It's just when you do modernization and stuff like that, because when you think, okay, you got issues where people have mobile phones or whatever, right? I'm not saying that's what's happened here because they skirted over it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they don't have the contacts like that. They just that never happened to bring out their iPhones.
Yeah.
In the 60s, never had them to begin with, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes. So he appears in one-off story and then a 4-part story because James D. Mateus, who's a really good writer, decided, well, this guy's probably lurking around. We gotta explain why he's here, but then not here. Then as we know in comics, though, sometimes look, Bloodhaven in Infinite Crisis got
nuked, didn't it?
Yeah. And then after Infinite Crisis,
it's just there again.
It is Bloodhaven all over again.
Yeah.
No, not after Infinite Crisis, after the retcon punch or whatever it is, right? Anyways.
When New Earth became a thing, so I think
And especially weird was when just before Infinite Crisis in the Batman title where he's facing off against Red Hood for the first time. Jason Todd Red Hood. And the building blows up.
Yeah.
All right. But Joker, Red Hood, and Batman were all 3 in the building. So,
but they all managed to get out somehow.
Yeah. Somehow. But whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, so Proto Goblin first in actual continuity. Then it's Norman.
Yep.
And I think his biggest claim to fame was that. Well, no, I got 2 claims to fame, so one's a fake claim to fame. His actual claim to fame is killing Gwen Stacy, and his other claim to fame was doing something else with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, which
was also
is canon, but not canon. But they try not to speak about it because when you think back at it, there's many issues with that. Many issues.
Yeah, it's also been retconned out again.
Yeah. Gabriel Parker.
So,
yeah,
all that. Mysterio added some did some mind addling whatever to Norman, and then, but even though Mary Jane saw it, right, and then he also did. Mysterio also cast a spell on Mary Jane or whatever, so she thought as well. It's like, all right, first of all, it was messy to begin with, but now it's kind of a bit messy that you're cleaning up.
Oh yeah, because because if I'm correct, because I haven't read it and I don't, I will read it. I'll read it at some point. That doesn't Gwen Stacy go to Mary Jane about the pregnancy, you know?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
Huh? Yeah.
Well, now you're gonna have to choose a lane.
Yeah. Like, that's
because all between that time, then people were like, all right, well, this pregnancy thing happened. This Norman Osborn Gwen Stacy affair happened, and then so we have to write within it the bounds of that. And then 10 years later, it's like, well, no, 20 years. About 15 years later, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was only a couple of years ago they retconned it, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't happen all along. It's like, okay, but then all the stuff we have written that it did, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So Norman ends up impaling himself.
Yeah.
His goblin guider. After we'll say he does kill Gwen Stacy, because we're not gonna say that Spider-Man shot the webs, caught Gwen Stacy's leg, and then snapped Gwen Stacy's neck.
Yeah, it was all intention. It was the intent was done by Goblin, so Goblin killed him. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, if for example the way that Goblin smacked Gwen Stacy, you could say he broke her neck when she went flying off, but then she had this thought bubble as she's coming down.
Yeah, but maybe that's her thought bubble in heaven.
And then as she gets saved, you see the sound effect snap by her neck.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, okay. Yeah.
And
then they retconned that she was still partially conscious there.
Yeah.
As well. Like, okay, right, whatever.
Like, again, choose a lane.
Yeah. And that's when Harry takes over.
Yeah.
Because he finds all the goblin stuff on Norman. Somehow he saw all this, right? And then when Spider-Man left, because Spider-Man killed his dad, apparently. Harry dressed Norman in the suit, took him, and they took him to the morgue, whatever. Then he paid the morgue attendant. This is all retcon, by the way.
Yeah.
Paid the morgue attendant to not do an autopsy on Norman, conveniently, right? So then Norman, who had the goblin formula within him, managed to have a healing factor as well, right?
Yeah.
And then he decided, because the way he saw Harry trying to bribe the mortician, he's like, "Oh, my boy's going to be a man after all the mental."
Yeah, of the mental abuse I've done to him, you know.
Yeah.
Because I always thought he was weak.
Turn to drugs and all that stuff, right? Oh, by the way, have you read any of those history 60s stuff, 70s?
No.
The way that normal. Oh, he's like you essentially calling him. If we was doing it now, he'd be calling Harry a bitch.
Yeah, because I saw I've seen some things that are basically like he treated Harry like he was like a lesser than, and like everyone was. He had like that sort of like, I'm God and everyone beneath me is nothing, especially my child. You know? Oh, that's a great way to...
Yeah. So he's like, finally my boy grew a spine.
Right.
And then he's like, well, in that case, I will go to Europe. For some reason, right?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, exactly. You got quote unquote, but you know.
Yeah.
And this is when, in 1996, when the clothes hug happened. And Norman died, I think, in the 70s. So, yeah.
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 So
and I think at that point, they took it as though he actually died.
Yeah, well, that's when death mattered back for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So then at this point, do we cover some of Harry's stuff? And then come back to Norman? And then come back to Harry afterwards? Or do you want to continue Norman stuff, do you think?
We might as well go to Harry.
Okay, yeah. We'll go to Harry, because then Harry also dies and then Norman takes over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Harry with his addled mind or whatever it is, decides he's gonna menace the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? But with no superpowers or anything like that.
No, because he didn't take the Goblin formula, does he?
No. And then I'm like, all right, how you expect? Look, he can punch you and you'd be knocked out.
Yeah. Unless, because they could like kind of say it's the suit, but I don't know.
Yeah. But I think also at this point they had the mystery of the crime boss who was the Hobgoblin.
Yeah. Thingy-majig.
Well,
Roderick Kingsley, innit?
Yeah, but not at that point.
No, yeah.
Not at that point. He was one of the many other people that Roderick Kingsley.
Yeah. We'll
used hypnosis to think that. Yeah. Anyways, the only relevant thing here is I would say no. Am I going to? No. That's a bit late on. But there is the first time the Hobgoblin and Green Goblin face off. It's Harry Osborn and Jason Macendale. It's not Norman or Roderick Kingsley or the initial Green Goblin, the initial Hobgoblin, whoever he was. You know.
Yeah.
They don't have a crossover until mid-90s.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. You would have thought that Norman's like, oh no, this man's stealing my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That should be my main priority for the moment. Yeah. You know. What? No.
But then they repeat the same mystery. It's like, who is the Hobgoblin? And then he's like, because Roger Quincy is actually a mastermind. Apparently,
Yeah.
he's got so many dupes that he pretends that are him of the Hobgoblin.
Because these powers of power. Oh yeah, when we get into it, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Episode.
But so the third Hobgoblin is some guy called Bart Hamilton, Dr. Bart Hamilton, who's Harry's psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And he was in a one-off 6-part story, I think, where I was reading and I was like, so you got the Green Goblin menacing all these crime bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to think that it's Harry Osborn, right? Because anytime he's talking to this other dude who's got tied up with a cloth over his face, I don't want to see your damn face, blah, blah, blah. It makes it sound like it's supposed to be Bart Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like Harry's therapist, and Harry's gone off the deep end with his, and he's become the Green Goblin back again.
Yeah.
Right? They try so hard to make you, I don't want to see your twerpish face and stuff like that. And you're like, okay.
To make him look even more.
Yeah. And then the guy in the chair with the mask on finally knocks himself over.
Yeah.
Saws his rope off, takes off his mask. It's Harry. All right, so that must mean this other geezer is the Green Goblin. And then Spider-Man's like, right. And one of the best things that Harry has ever done, by the way. And I say it kind of jokingly, mockingly, but he dons his Green Goblin gear to face off against Dr. Hamilton Green Goblin, right?
Yeah.
And then when Dr. Hamilton takes off his mask and he's trying to mouth off at Harry then tears the Green Goblin suit off himself. Okay. And you know how skin tight these things are, yeah?
Yeah.
He's got his suit that he was kidnapped in underneath that.
What?
His suit, his blazer, his shirt, his trousers, yeah? All underneath the Green Goblin suit. And I'm like,
how does that make sense?
Yeah. How did you do that? Usually, don't you wear these lycra costumes underneath casual wear?
Because it makes more sense. Not casual wear underneath, like you said, like not skin tight, but no, I'm gonna say a skin tight costume. You're gonna wear a suit underneath that. That sounds like a nightmare.
Well, that sounds like insanity. Which Harry was.
Yeah.
By the way, I have to say the retcon that Norman had mental issues, then leading to Harry having hereditary mental issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's a good way of doing it, rather than it's the Goblin formula. I was like, no, the Goblin formula just enhanced the psychological issues that he had. Yeah.
And then there's another retcon we will reach later on.
Okay.
So, okay. So, and by the way, I think maybe the better Green Goblin stories are with Harry as the Green Goblin, because it's all about his fragile mind. And
Yeah.
2 major stories that J.M. DeMatteis wrote.
Yeah.
Child Within, and then technically it's a longer story, but it leads to the death of Harry Osborn.
One of his many deaths, yeah.
Well, no, I think he only died once.
Did he? I swear.
Oh, really? No, okay. No, he only died once, but then he's got a clone, and then but the kindred and all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so, I think, so James DeMatteis, he pitches Batman stories, it seems, right?
Yeah.
And then when DC turn him down, he turns them into Spider-Man stories.
He just does little tweaks.
Yeah, there was one called Kraven's Last Hunt, as you know, was meant to be a Batman Hugo Strange story.
Okay.
And The Child Within, I believe, was meant to be a Batman Two-Face story.
Oh.
Yeah. But it all goes about, about that, how the different mindsets and how their childhood relates to what they become now and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like a psychological sort of thing. That's pretty good.
They are dense, by the way. I was reading them when I was a kid, and you just get bored, right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
But when you're older and you're reading it, you're like, wow,
Yeah, like, this makes much more sense. Yeah. And especially now, because we sort of like lots of that stuff, like mental health stuff, is more out of the open, and it's more like, that does make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he had. So there's a character James DeMatteis created called Vermin, who was. Yeah. Was he in the game? I can't remember.
He was in one of the Spider-Man movie games. I know that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it was a scientist who stuffed with rats, Baron Zemo, turned him into vermin.
Yeah. Good old
And
Baron
then
Zemo.
he's also in this freeway with Wait. So in Kraven's Last Hunt, Kraven kidnaps him, tortures him, and then makes him fear the black suit Spider-Man. And that's why, because that's how Venom becomes the Spider-Man enemy, right?
Yeah.
And then in Chart Within, it's about how all three, normal Harry Osborn, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Vermin, how their mindsets are all completely off key from the normal people, right?
Yeah, from trauma. Yeah.
Oh. It's really good actually. And then then you lead off to Harry finally creating the Goblin formula, taking it, beating up Molten Man, who's Liz Allen's older brother.
Yeah,
because he's married Liz Allen, and little Normie, who's destroying Spider-Man toys because he's a hater.
Yeah. Right? Inherited trauma. Yeah.
exactly. And then I like the consistency. I don't know if it's as consistent as they're supposed to make it, but Harry's mood switches. He's probably bipolar.
Yeah. He probably, I wouldn't be surprised. They just didn't know what bipolar was back then. So yeah.
And then, so finally he has this equal level fight with Peter, and he jabs him with like a pin that has a sedative.
Yeah.
And he's gonna blow him up, right? But Mary Jane's also in the building.
Yeah.
So he rescues, Harry rescues everyone.
Yeah.
And then Mary Jane's like, you can't leave him to die. You can't leave Peter there, to die.
Yeah.
And then Harry's like, no, but all this time it was him. He killed my father and all that stuff, right? And then he's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then, then he finally saves Peter.
Yeah.
But then that very issue, that's when he also couple of pages after, he just drops on the floor in his goblin costume.
Yeah.
And they take him to the hospital, and because it's the goblin formula. Well, he's not a scientist, right?
Yeah. So he's got like some bootleg version.
Yeah. And then that's Harry done and dusted. I was like, oh man, his final act was to save his dear old friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was like, I say, the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had built to that point.
Yeah.
So he dies as well, right?
Yeah.
And then then we don't have a Green Goblin for a while.
Yeah. For a while, wasn't it?
Well, no. The other thing is, you know about Peter Parker's parents.
Oh, what, the ones that Harry hired to be people that hired actors to be his parents?
No. It's even worse than that.
What?
He made automatons.
Oh. Are these the ones that are around in the 90s and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh.
Then look, I don't know the storyline with the Clone Saga. They're like, oh, you know, it'd be cool, right? Because back in the day, I think in one of the first Spider-Man annuals, Rich and Mary Parker were spies.
Yeah.
And they were investigating the Red Skull or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Or was it Doctor Doom? I can't quite remember. But yes, they decided it was decided they bring them back. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But then where are we going with this? What is this all about? What's the end game? You know.
Yeah, what is the end game?
Other than to, I say, bring a bit of divisiveness to Aunt May's life.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not his
real mother. We are, even though we haven't known him for like the last 10 years of his life. But...
Exactly. I don't know if that was the case. I can't remember. All I remember is that yes, they end up being created by the chameleon, I believe, and Mendel Strom. And then Harry, when Spider-Man finds out the base, you got the Green Goblin's face on it, going gotcha, because that's his catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even back from the dead, he's a hater.
Haters gonna hate.
But then, all the way to the Clone Saga, yeah? I say all the way, but, you know, we're going to the end of the Clone Saga at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Just before this, right? I had to slot in Phil Ulrich Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that?
No.
I say you should. It's 12 issues, 13 issues, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it's totally 90s. And what is funny is, when you look at the sidekick, how Peter Parker was written in the 60s, and then you look at this guy's written, he's totally radical, dude. Like he's Bill Ted, right?
Yeah.
But he also has Uncle Ben Urich, of course, right?
Yeah.
I liked it, enjoyed it. Fun. Scott McIntyre's artwork, it was Tom DeFalco was writing it. But some of the language used there, he's like, "Ooh, sweet mama," and I'm like, right. Some old white man is looking in the dictionary going, "What's the two kids lingo now?"
Yeah, what's the cool kids are saying? And like, oh, they're not really saying that.
Look, I found it fun. It was like a guy just trying to stumble his way into, like, he had villainous gear and stuff like that, but he's just doing minor stuff, I say, because he wasn't trying to be proper superhero. But he encountered the Scarlet Spider there.
Yeah.
He encountered Daredevil. He encountered the Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Jason McIntyre Hobgoblin, who looked competent.
Yeah.
All the other times, this guy has not been competent at all, right? When he's fighting a guy who's only been wearing the Green Goblin suit for maybe a month or something, he's like, yeah. I'm the man now.
I'm the man.
So Phil Ulrich stumbled upon one of Norman's other hideouts that the Hobgoblin did not find.
Yeah.
So I think Ben Urich got a tip off. He was going to go in there. He got hassled by a bunch of punks. Phil was following him, and then he stumbled into the secret entrance. And then because he stumbled in secret entrance, he opened something and he saw the Green Goblin mask and he stumbled back because you're like, oh my. That's all right.
Yeah.
Get covered by chemicals. Yeah. And when his uncle's getting harassed upstairs, he's like, all right, well, what's a man going to do? And he puts on the Green Goblin mask. Yeah.
So this is when he was the heroic goblin, in it?
Yeah. Oh, not the Golden Goblin that you... No. Did you read about in...
What, the most recent thing?
No. I'm talking about the one in the MC2.
Oh, no, I was thinking... Spider-Man. No, I was thinking of like the recent Golden Goblin.
Oh, yeah. One's called the Gold Goblin and one's called the Golden Goblin.
I think so.
Yeah, I think the Gold Goblin is the Phil Ulrich Goblin from MC2.
Must be, because I know the new one is the Golden Goblin.
Yeah, Norman Osborn, but he's not in a goblin costume.
Yeah, he's in some like weird... some weird...
Looks like a motorcycle / spacesuit sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah,
snowboarding something. It's like, well, okay, but you don't look like goblin, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say the Golden Glider. Oh no, DC owned the name to that. Never mind.
But so yeah, I enjoyed them issues. But then they had to have Norman. Look, at the same time, they had the Clone Saga going on, and they had this character called Gorn, which was written like he was supposed to be Harold Osborn come back from the dead. Yeah, because he took the Goblin formula, he must have had the healing, whatever, right? He's all like skinny and whatnot, and he's got the mask over his head.
Yeah,
and then I think one of the editors or the guys in control of Marvel was like, "Nah, Harry's a punk."
Yeah,
right. We all know he's a punk.
Yeah, he can do this.
Bring back a Goblin, you bring Norman back.
Yeah.
And then they had to retcon Gorn to be Mendel Strom.
Okay.
And then it was, like you say, it was Norman all along.
Yeah.
Which then they had to do for the last 2 issues of Green Goblin. They had them fight a Sentinel.
Yeah.
Like, this was during Onslaught, so and I think he took one down. He crashed his glider into it, right?
Yeah.
But then a piece of the Sentinel hit his mask, destroyed the circuitry, and then he's like, "Oh well." And then you had like the final issue of him of Green Goblin. It's like he's trying to be Green Goblin, but he can't be because he's got no powers and everything. Then he's like, "Oh well, shucks." Okay.
I had a good run. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
oh.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Come on, man! We could have had probably 2 Green Goblins running at the same time. Like we could have had a Scarlet Spider-Man and Spider-Man, and now we have 5 Spider-Men. Or whatever, right?
Yeah. 5 Spider-Men, 2 Wolverines, a Hellverine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe they went great sales for the Green Goblin.
Maybe.
Or whatever,
but I give him that for giving it a try.
Yeah. I think it was cool while it lasted.
So then, all right. Before we move on to the next chronological,
well, we move back to normal.
Yeah.
But go on. Ask a question.
Between this and then the big time storyline, what did Phil Ulrich do?
Exactly. We'll also cover that as well.
Okay.
Because
cool.
I have to go back to Norman.
Okay, cool.
First.
Cool. All right.
So Norman finally kills Ben Reilly, right? No, Norman finally kills a Spider-Man after all this time saying, I was behind the closed circle all along, right?
Yeah.
So every time that Super Trainer or Miles Warren or whatever, it was me, Peter. It was me all along.
I was bankrolling it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then he rips his shirt apart to show the cross-section scar he got from the Goblin Glider. And he goes, I made you think you was the clone. I destroyed your life. Blah, 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 right? And then just to rub it in, right?
Yeah.
He pulls Ben Reilly's beat-up Spider-Man body and goes, yeah, look at that piece of trash. I put you back in your own Spider-Man. I knocked you out. I put you back in a proper Spider-Man costume, Peter, because we got to do this like men.
Only way we know how.
And then there's these captions saying like about how this story's always been between Norman Osborn and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Not the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. But it's like, no, hold on a second. That doesn't work.
No.
Works for Magneto and Professor X, yeah?
Yeah.
They have a relation that far back.
Yeah.
Before they took their code names.
Yeah.
But Green Goblin's beef has always been with Spider-Man and vice versa. You know, they're in costume beef.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know who each other were out of costume. Then out of costume afterwards, that became something else.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then Spider-Man is like, so Norman rams Ben Reilly, because Ben Reilly came back. Ben Reilly had to get all the pumpkin bombs out of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Foggy Nelson also there, by the way. And you're like, what's Foggy Nelson doing in the Spider-Man title? Well, that's when Matt Murdock had a mental breakdown.
Okay, yeah.
And going in his black costume.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's Jack Batlin.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, we're going to use Foggy here. Even though, I've got to say, there's masses of other Spider-Man characters, like Randy Robertson. What happened to him? Chloe Grant, what happened to her?
Yeah.
MJ has a cousin. Jill Stacy. Well, Jill Stacy, I think she was around at that time. Paul Stacy. What happened? Where are these people now? Yeah. Exactly.
Convenient.
But yes. So Ben Reilly had to get all the pumpkin bombs. And then he tried to stay flash from a pumpkin bomb that was about to go off. So he hurt himself, bandaged himself up.
Yeah.
Goes to the top of the bugle where Peter and Norman are fighting. Gives the bugle, gets rammed by the Goblin Glider.
Yeah.
Gives Peter the bag of pumpkin bombs, and Peter just shoves it at Norman.
Yeah.
And Norman blows up.
Quote unquote.
First of all, actually, Norman came into the Daily Bugle to taunt everyone.
Yeah.
I am Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, right?
Yeah.
And then then you're like, well, definitive, right? But then he also died, but then he's not, right? Because all the pumpkins blew him up, yeah?
Yeah.
Except that he does come back, but that's the point where Ben Reilly starts deteriorating and turning into a dust.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, oh yeah, I am the real one. I am the number one Spider-Man. I am the real deal, yeah?
Yeah.
And then, like you asked about Phil Ulrich, right?
Yeah.
So there's a storyline called Goblin at the Gates. It's got Roderick Kingsley and Norman Osborn finally making their Goblin cross thing.
Yeah.
And there's someone in a Green Goblin costume.
Yeah.
Who's not Norman, right? So you're like, Norman's like, you know what? Remember in the Bugle, I brought you guys out, right?
Yeah.
And I said I was a Green Goblin. Well, actually, I'm not. It wasn't me. I don't know why the Green Goblin would say that. I mean, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Why?
This guy's trying to defame me. What is going on there? You know? I think it was also he managed to manipulate Peter into beating him up as well and have it recorded, just like Lex Luthor did with Superman in the new movie, even though he didn't actually get beat up. But Norman did that trick first, and he turned everyone against Spider-Man even more because because then he's like with Joe Jameson, and he's like, you got to publish what I say about Spider-Man.
Yeah, because I'm paying you. Yeah.
Oh, and Norman also being behind Mary Jane's miscarriage, and he kidnapped May, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then it turns out he did not kidnap their child that was going to be born that called May. He kidnapped Aunt May. What a twist! Balls.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can say that one.
But yes. So then the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
That Norman used is like, oh, talking about how his sort of father issues and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, so if Norman is not the Green Goblin, maybe it's a clone of Harry or it's Phil Ulrich. One of the two, surely, yeah?
Yeah.
This doesn't get wrapped up until later on.
Okay.
Oh, there's a cool thing in here where Roger Kingsley's trying to be like, well, I'm the Green Goblin, and I mean, I'm the Hobgoblin, and I would try and make Norman break me out of jail.
Yeah.
By baiting him, yeah? Saying, I know who, I've got the journals of the Green Goblin where he's saying about the Goblin formula and all these other things, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't say, Norman, right, on the TV.
Yeah.
And then, so Norman breaks him out, and then, Green Goblin breaks him out, not Norman. And then they tangle with Spider-Man, and then afterwards, so Roger Kingsley helps Green Goblin, but not Norman, take down Spider-Man, and he's got them all tied up and everything like that. And then he's about to take off his mask, and Norman's like, no, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that right now. And then Roger Kingsley's like, why? And then you see a couple of panels of static shot, and then Kingsley's like, you already know who he is. And Norman's like, yeah. He does a dirty smirk and he goes, yeah.
I'll never tell.
And then he's like, how? And he goes, because I'm Norman Osborn. All right.
Yeah. Okay. That
but like the million other things you did are not succeeding because you're Norman Osborn. But if you say so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was so the Gathering of the Five storyline.
Yeah.
When Norman had a complete mental breakdown, he thought he had I think 4 issues in of that because there's 5-parter.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I killed Spider-Man, bombed him, I killed him, and then you see him in the next issue, all webbed up, tied down. He's still laughing his head off because he's like, I killed Spider-Man, nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
And what you then see is Spider-Man holding up a pillar of the Daily Bugle, so it doesn't collapse. It's like, okay, so the Green Goblins just had the massive hallucination sort of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a weird.
And then Spider-Man, I think all the Spider-Man titles get cancelled after that, and then 2 come back: Peter Parker Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I think a couple of issues into that, he encounters that Green Goblin again.
Yeah.
Who then, when he pulls the mask off, it looked like Harry for a fraction of a second, and then it all melted. So it was like a construct, a DNA construct. And like, what?
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Why don't you just have it as a brainwashed Phil Ulrich and then that'd been that?
Yeah, why need to try to be too clever? Yeah.
And then what happens with continue with Phil Ulrich.
Yeah.
What's that group? He got together with some other people. I think that it was called Excelsior or something like that. It's got Dark Hawk in it and some other
the Loners, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that. Tertiary characters. I think Ricochet.
Yep.
Not Ricochet, Bold Slaphead.
Ricochet, the mutant Ricochet.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was in that group as well.
Yeah, so it was Matty Franklin.
Yeah. Spider Girl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh my goodness. She was. So when Spider-Man got cancelled and Spider-Man, that initial run, he did his Spider-Man No More again at that point.
Yeah.
So in the 1990, when they just had dropped it to 2 titles.
Yeah.
Had Spider-Man in it, but he wasn't Peter Parker, right? Except that it was Betty Franklin. You're like, well, hold on a minute, she's a female, right? Fair enough, she's a teenager, so she has certain body parts that aren't going to be so visible yet. But even then, is she wearing a muscle suit or something to cover up her physique to make her look more like Spider? Anyways, I'm like, what? Of all things, to make you pretend that, and she's Jamie Jonason's niece as well. It's like, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then then she turned into her boyfriend is using her DNA to make mutant growth hormone.
Yeah, I saw it on Wikipedia. I was like, okay, that's.
Yeah. I was like, okay, there's dark places, right?
Yeah.
But there's like,
but is she a mutant?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, technically, it makes sense. Yeah.
So even then, so Phil Ulrich then decided, because for some reason it's like these guys who are ex-superheroes-ish or retired superheroes get together to do stuff.
Yeah.
Except that then the whatever was evil within the Goblin formula or whatever it is drove him to slight insanity because like I need to get that power back. So then he tries to steal the Darkwood crystal from the guy who's Darkwood.
Yeah.
And then they take it back off him, and then he's like, they kick him out because they're like, oh, you're just as bad as the people who are trying to fight. You're crazy. You're nuts. You know,
Yeah.
like Green Goblin stuff. And then later on, ages later, he then finds the Hobgoblin gear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
That's
You
big
know
time.
the storyline becomes the Goblin Knight, right?
Well, he becomes
Oh, hold on. Do I need to tag you in to speak about the Red Goblin and all that stuff first?
because Red Goblin's later. That's like near the
Okay.
end.
Oh, so this is Goblin Nation, yeah?
Yeah, because that's like
Okay.
because Goblin Nation is going through between, if I remember correctly, Superior Spider-Man and near the end of that. Because I remember, if I remember this correctly, throughout Superior Spider-Man, there was like little like hints of the Goblin cult and stuff like that, and you see these Goblin badges.
Just before we get into that, because I skipped it. I say I skipped things, but then it's relevant because
Yeah.
one more day happens, right?
Yep.
So not only is there a retcon that Norman came back in the Clone Saga, Harry also was in Europe, quote unquote, for the 5 years that prior to one more day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know? For therapy or rehabilitation or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's relevant because is this first of all, I think they start playing it is Harry.
Yeah.
But then there's bits and pieces afterwards. But yes, and yeah, we'll get to. You probably have to insert the Grey Goblin in there at some point.
I don't even know the Grey Goblin. Wait, what?
Okay, hold on. First of all, which was trying to run this in order. There is Menace. Yeah, so one more day happens, brand new day happens, and then there's the mystery of who is Menace.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Another Goblin-like character, but not really.
Yeah. Mother number 2 of Harry Osborn's kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Lily Hollister.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where you're like, okay, it's another thing where they're like, okay, we don't know what the gender of Menace is, right? It's like a masculine person.
Yeah.
No, it's not Harry.
No.
It's not Flash or any of those. Yeah. No, it's this woman. All right. Just like they did the thing with Jackpot, where you're like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be Mary Jane, but it's not.
Yeah.
And
it's just another red.
Way later on.
Yeah.
They decided to actually we're gonna make it this character Mary Jane. We're gonna make Mary Jane wear the Jackpot costume to become this character rather than I think she was someone else who was wearing a red wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of red herrings going on there. But yes. So Goblin Nation, you were saying?
Yeah. So during this is when Phil Ulrich tries his luck at Hobgoblin. It's not really going that well. So he's like, okay. And then he becomes the Goblin Knight / Goblin King of the Goblin Nation. And he's given lots of like way with teenagers and stuff. He's not the Goblin formula, but something along that line. So they become like subordinate to him. And they start slowly taking over bits of New York, which kind of leads into the end of Superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock's like, I can't do anything, but the only person who probably could do this is Peter Parker, because Peter Parker is super smart, and I'm afraid to admit it, but I'm going to admit it now for story reasons. And then
I thought I wiped him out of my mind, but there's a little lockbox in there.
Yeah,
I allowed him to come back. Actually, that's when you see the infamous panel of Norman dressing down Dr. Octopus saying, you could never take me, you're always second rate. I was his best nemesis anyways, right?
Yeah, you're like,
and then Peter Parker's like, then Spider-Man's like with a quippy comeback saying, says the guy running around with a man purse.
Yeah.
And then you see the panel of the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, the mask, even a mask over his face, and he's just staring at Spider-Man and goes, You. And I'm like,
You're back. It's like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then,
isn't that the same time where I think then Dr. Ock, Superior Spider-Man, had a couple encounters with, like you say, Phil Ulrich. I think he was Green Goblin at that point, right?
Yeah.
At that point, and he's like, you know what? I don't even need to fight you.
Yeah.
I will just unveil your identity to everyone.
Yeah. So everyone finds out who he is. That's when he goes on a run, and then that's when he becomes. That's when he's again, I think he stumbled upon another Norman's Osborn's lair or something, and then becomes the Goblin Knight / King. Yeah.
I think, by the way, they character assassinated him.
You feel Ulrich?
Yeah, I thought it was, I say that because you know how it's just like it was a happy-go-lucky Bill and Ted-ish character.
Yeah, and then they
could have had the brainwashed instead of the construct, and then lead in this direction.
Yeah,
but they're like, oh no, I'm power hungry all of a sudden.
Yeah, because even like I didn't know much about Phil Ulrich when I first started, because I started reading Spider-Man properly like mid Brand New Day and all that stuff, and then when I saw when he appeared and he found the what's his name? I want to say Frank Kingsley. It's not Frank Kingsley, but it's Ben Kingsley's Redrick Kingsley's brother. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah.
Ben Kingsley.
I know that's a famous actor, but yeah, and I was like, this seems kind of out of character, but okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, and they haven't really done much with it since, really. Because like you said, like you've kind of like made him unredeemable at this point, so
exactly, you step too far, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. Unless they want to blame it on gas, you know. But,
the Goblin formula. I mean, they're all insane, right? I mean, look, you got people that aren't scientists dealing with they aren't biological scientists dealing with stuff that changes the chemicals in your brains.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
No wonder why you end up like this.
Yeah. But whatever. Sure.
So you were talking, the Goblin Nation. Yep. So that's another thing. But I think that was post One More Day, Norman Osborn is a bigger threat because he also was running Hammer and stuff like that as well.
Yes.
Even though he's like, well, hold on a minute, right? When he was dead during that period, where people were saying that he was kind of the Green Goblin, but not really, and there was rumors.
Yeah.
Because Ben Urich was writing the storybook, the unauthorized biography of Evil, I think he's called it.
Yeah.
Where Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin. But it's like, even when you have all those rumors and stuff like that, it's like, how do you get this guy run a government-sanctioned facility called Hammer?
Because I think when I got... So it would have been like... Yeah, it would have been like during Brand New Day and stuff, innit? When Osborn came back and then reformed whatever and joined the Thunderbolts as the Green Goblin. And then because of Secret Invasion, again, that apparently he had some pulling strings of all that stuff or whatever, and he became... Go on.
I was going to say, he could have just jumped in there with Secret Invasion saying, oh no, it was a scroll all along. It was always a scroll.
I was never that. That was a scroll those 6 times I've done evil things to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, then he's part of the Cabal and stuff like that. And then there's like, oh, I see my moment. I'm going to take it, become the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. that became Hammer and then led on to the Iron Patron stuff, which I enjoyed that kind of stuff. But it's...
It's funny because the Cabal is like the reverse Illuminati, right?
Yeah.
And Namor was on both.
Which I always found weird. I was like, how does that work? Like, is he on both those teams to make sure both those teams do nothing? You know what I mean? Like, I know stuff that they're doing. I know stuff they're doing. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah. I'm just gonna not make an appearance when they have to go and cross over each other. I'm just strategically not gonna be there.
Yeah. Oh, what a great guy. Oh.
Yeah. But then, like you were saying, the Grey Goblin.
Yeah.
Was Gabriel Parker / Osborn.
Yeah.
Who was the artificial. Okay, so what is he actually? Because back then in the retcon, he was the son of Norman Osborn, but artificially aged. Like the daughter was the daughter of Gwen Stacy, but artificially aged. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, even though Gabriel Osborn Stacy, looked like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So how'd that work?
Yeah, because that made me think like, was it secretly his child? Yeah, like, but
I think that's what they were trying to say from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it was like the spider whatever caused them to artificially age, and then they decided like it was written out, and they decided, oh, we're gonna just change who the father is. But then you choose Norman of all people.
Yeah, of all people, anyone you could have used, even
like,
a no one. I mean, like
you could have been if it was Harry.
Yeah, Makes sense.
Kind of, but then why is he cheating on Liz Allen? But yeah.
Yeah, but you can blame that on like these mental issues at the time. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
there's so many other like
yeah.
ways you could have went with it, but no, Norman
Mm-hmm.
Osborn, because that makes it even more questionable, you know.
Yeah. And then is the Red Goblin stuff okay? I'm gonna say where I think it lies in, but I can't. You're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, and then you're gonna have to explain the Red Goblin stuff probably afterwards.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that is it the Kindred storyline where Mysterio reveals, oh no, you know what? None of that actually ever happened, and these children of Gwen Stacy aren't really her children. I used whatever to make clone vats or whatever it is.
I think that would have been off. I think the Kindred was after Don Slott's running it, and Red Goblin come at the end near the end of that.
Okay. Yeah. So the Kindred storyline, I think that's a Nick Spencer one, but he's trying to patch everything together and say the thing that happened in J. Michael Straczynski's run.
Yeah.
The Sins Past storyline.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it didn't happen, but now I've got to fix the other things of the Grey Goblin and the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Grey Goblin, by the way, did anything significant. All we can say is that he was a retcon of a retcon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just disappeared. You know what he should have done? He should have just disintegrated like a clone.
Yeah, you know, it really written that into like the lore of the of Spider-Man. That things disintegrate, so you know.
Mm-hmm. So yes, you go on to the Red Goblin saga.
Yeah, so the Red Goblin saga. So this is quite a while after the Superior Spider-Man, when Osborn's gone back on the run with his ginger hair and beard, and then there's a couple of stories that slightly lead to it. So this is coming to the end of the Dan Slott like mega run of Spider-Man, and there was a guy who was Venom for like an issue. Oh, what's his name?
It's not Matt Gargan, right?
No.
Son of the gangster guy.
No, it's like I think it's like Lee Weeks, something like. Anyway,
Lee Weeks, the artist.
Something like it's Lee something.
No, I think he's a guy who illustrates. Like he's a comic book.
Yeah, that's why I might be getting his name wrong. I know it's Lee something, but anyways, he's Venom for like a day. Yeah. Like for a few issues of the Venom that was coming out around then. This is just after Flash came back to Earth, and then the symbiote went crazy and left him, and he joined onto some other guy, and then it wasn't going well. So there's like, you know what, Eddie Brock, you're Venom again. Yeah. So that guy, he somehow stole a bit of the Venom symbiote and was making these Venom masks. It was just a mask, and they were like a sort of a high mind thing. And then Osborn's like, I seen this. Maybe I could do something. So then he decides that he's going to experiment. He gets a Carnage symbiote because I think at this point, Cletus is dead after like Venom Carnage USA storyline, right?
Yeah.
And then he decides that he's going to mix the Carnage DNA with his blood.
Okay.
And it turns him into the Red Goblin. But also, while doing this, so there's a big epic showdown between him and Spider-Man. He also affects Normie Osborn with it. And he becomes like Red Goblin Jr., but then later on he's called Kid Goblin. So yeah, and his powers are literally like the symbiote creates the like pumpkin bombs. He's got a tail. He is
looks like a demon.
Yeah, looks like a demon. And then he kills Flash Thompson, because they get a Flash at this point the anti-venom suit, so he became Agent Anti-Venom.
Okay.
And they're like, yay. And Flash finally knows who Spider-Man is. Like, oh yeah, we're all good friends. And then Norman Osborn like kills him and like accelerates the the anti-venom symbiote as well. Because for some reason, you know how the anti-venom symbiote works, right? It nullifies the normal symbiotes.
Yeah. I think didn't Mr. Negative make the
Yes, he
anti-venom
did.
costume?
Yeah. Which killed Eddie Brock's cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and then it didn't work on the Red Goblin, so he was able to like murder him. Yeah. I like the Red
So I'm
Goblin.
gonna ask a couple of questions here first.
Yes.
So the Venom symbiote
Yep.
makes Eddie Brock stronger. If when Eddie Brock pumps weights, there's proportional strength increase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Norman's already got super strength,
Yep.
does the Carnage symbiote max out at a certain point, or is it just like multiplies the strength?
I think it multiplies it because I know that like, at the time I was saying like things get retconned all the time. That was like the most powerful symbiote out of all of them before like Null and stuff became a thing. Yeah, so that's why they had to like team up to beat him. I think even Venom was actually involved in this storyline. But
Because I think isn't it was it Flash or one of the Venoms?
Yeah.
Was like to the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
You got to merge back with Peter.
Yeah, like you got to merge back with Peter because he's the one, which we retcon later again back to Eddie being the one. But yeah,
Yeah. And also, like you say, the retcon, right? Supposedly, the reason that Eddie could keep the Venom symbiote in check was because Eddie had brain cancer or something like that, and the Venom symbiote was feeding off the adrenal, whatever it was.
Yeah, something
so,
like that. Yeah.
So then it kept that at bay from eating the brains, apparently.
Yeah, because the brain was nothing, and then, like you said, he's the chosen symbiote guy.
Oh yeah. Because then they got like you say the King in Black and all that other stuff. And it's like, well, no, but Eddie Brock is just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like, where did all this come from?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
whatever.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things because I like Eddie Brock and it's like, you know what? I'm quite happy with this. It's a weird retcon that's probably gonna get retconned out again soon. But
I'm not a super fan, by the way, of the stories where it's like, oh, the chosen one all this time, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough if something like Buffy where you say, okay, there is a chosen one at the beginning.
Yeah.
But when you start a story where you're like, there isn't a chosen one, and then all of a sudden he is the chosen one, that's when you're like.
I was actually about to say that. That's the same how I feel. Like, if. Like, I don't mind the whole Spider-Verse stuff and how Spider-Man's always like, basically, in 90% of the universes, the Spider-Man will be a Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Okay, but then, like you said, it kind of takes away, like, the uniquity of that person. Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
And it feels like, sometimes feel like lazy writing.
Yeah. It's just like, you know what? I mean, look, the most blatant lazy writing we could ever say is, oh, you know what? Mutants exist. People have powers, and they can have any powers.
Yeah.
Because of genetics. All right. Fine.
But
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for some reason, weirdly, it works with the mutants, but everyone else is like, huh? Because
so
go on.
No. You go first, and I'll go back to.
No, because what I'm about to say has nothing to do with like Spider-Man. It's got to do with.
Yeah. You finished that.
So basically, I was gonna say like it's kind of like Batman Beyond, right? Or Batman in the Future. What made it special? And this is weird retcon, but I actually don't mind retcon anyway. Well, like Terry McGinnis was just a dude who happened to fall across it and that stuff. And then later they retcon it that he's Bruce Wayne's genetic clone. Oh, that.
And they tried to duplicate the exact circumstances that
another.
Yeah. They killed his father and Robin.
Yeah. So it kind
they
of
killed his dad, right?
This is dad. Yeah.
They killed his mum though because they couldn't execute the rest of the plan.
Yeah.
They got Andrea Beaumont, the Phantasm, to do it, and she couldn't. She was like, nah.
Yeah. And then. So it's like sort of, I didn't mind that retcon, but then like it kind of takes away the uniquity of, anyone could be Batman. You're born to be Batman or something like because we stole his DNA and then killed your parents. Yeah. So it kind of takes that like every Spider-Man needs to have like a parent dead, and that's why I ran this back up to Spider-Man. I don't, the second Into the Spider-Verse film, Across Spider-Verse, whatever it is, right? How I liked how...
Oh, yeah, it's Across, sorry.
Yeah, how Miles is anomaly. So he is special because he's not like everyone else, their parents didn't die for him to become the... So that was me just rounding that back up to Spider-Man. Sorry for that tangent.
The Kindred storyline, where it was built up like another Goblin mystery, but not really.
Yeah.
That it was going to be the Harry that came back from Brand New Day wasn't the true Harry Osborn. It was another first year deal Harry Osborn. And then it turned out I don't think Kindred was him after all. It was also what's it called? The Stacy twins, except that it was not them either.
Yeah, because Nick Spence probably hated them. They want to get rid of that whole thing.
Yeah.
So like, because the Kindred storyline, well, not storyline, but the idea of it ran through all of Nick Spence's run of Spider-Man, didn't it?
Yeah. If you probably know more than I do because you read you're more of the current Spider-Man.
I didn't actually get around to reading that because I wanted to. I think that's on my list on like Marvel Unlimited to read, like to see like how they kind of explain the Kindred and But who was the Kindred?
I would see. Yeah, they. I feel like you know what. Did you ever read the storyline with are they called the Scryers? It was during the Clone Saga, right? Where they had this guy in like a pale guy in a black cloak sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And he used to just appear in certain places.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then it turned out no, he's not some guy like in a omnipotent being.
Yeah.
He was multiple guys.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And they just that's how they happen to be in all those other places. Like, all right, if you say so, yeah. So if the Kindred was the Stacy twins, the fake Harry Osborn, all that stuff, okay, but
that's kind of sucky.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I think that the real deal what ends up being it's because Norman retcon decided, you know what, I need my fame and fortune. My legacy is down on its luck, and my dad has been a bit of a pile of trash.
Yeah.
So I will sell my soul to Mephisto.
Yeah.
Except that Mephisto's like, nah, I don't want yours, Norman.
Your soul's dirty. Yeah. Your soul's dirty. I don't want that. Ugh.
Yeah. Either that or Norman's like, you know what? I don't want to sell my soul. I'll sell my son's soul though, because this is Norman Osborn, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
And then Mephisto's like, yeah, sure, that'll do. And then, then come a retcon, like we were talking about the Proto Goblin.
Yeah.
He wipes Norman's memory of the deal. Like, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Wow.
If you say so.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah.
That's not nice at all.
Yeah. So that's the kind of, first of all, the kind of dad that Norman Osborn is very consistent with his character.
Yeah, you gotta give him that.
He has been doing.
Yeah, you'll give him that. He's quite consistently being a terrible father.
Yeah. Well, I would say not even the Lionel Luthor from Smallville went to these depths, and he was gaslighting multiple times.
First,
and condescending and all that stuff.
Yeah. That was a very abusive father family. Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. So you said Menace was the mother of Harry Osborn's other child.
Second child, yeah.
Yeah. What? Who was that?
What's that?
And
you said the name.
What do?
Because I remember she near the end of Brand New Day and stuff when they reveal that she's Menace, right? There's a bit where she's flying around pregnant, like in a suit, it's belly hanging over.
Hold on. Am I mixing up with? Okay, so in Smallville, Kelly Brook in season 1 was hooking up with X. I can't remember the character's name.
Yeah,
and then when she got ousted, she ended up hooking with Lionel Luthor.
Yeah.
Right? Now, am I mixing it up and saying that the...
Oh, wait. I think you're right, I think Harry thought it was his, and then, he's such a terrible dad.
Yeah, then it was Norman's all along, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, because I remember when, because she was even in the Brand New Day part when Harry became American Son.
Yeah.
And to keep Norman orchestrated the whole thing to make Harry stay by saying, "Yeah, she's pregnant and it's your baby."
Yeah.
So he stayed. Yeah, and then she became.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. The like Normals gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
So the thing is though, I'm like, how low can you go except with Norman? There's no depth. It seems.
Wow. Well, now he is. Spoiler alert! If anyone's listened to this, he's Spider-Man now. So.
Yeah. He got his evilness wiped from him, right? And then became the Gold Goblin.
Also forgot to mention. I don't know if you knew about this. When after the whole Red Goblin thing, he memory got wiped because of symbiote, and he thought he was Cletus Cassidy.
Oh, no, I don't know about this.
Yeah, he thought he was Cletus Cassidy, and because Carnage was dead at this point, so he Cletus Cassidy was dead at this point, and he thought he was Cletus Cassidy, and it weren't.
I think that I saw a panel, an out of context panel where he was like, yeah. He is Carnage,
yeah, and then then he got freed from that during. I think it was either Absolute Carnage, or it might have been the King in Black. I want to say Absolute Carnage. Yeah, and he became Norman again. Yeah, then he became good because he forgot all of his evil deeds, and now he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Crazy. Why?
It is what it is. I want to say, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say, of all these goblins, Norman did the most.
Yeah.
But that's by sheer over saturation.
Yes. That is the best way of putting it.
He's not the greatest because he has the highest stats or anything.
No.
Like that, right? It's just because he's made the most appearances. And then by default, then he's had the most victories and the most defeats. But
yeah. And
it's more relevant than anyone else.
And I feel like he's that character now. I want to say, not bulletproof, but like, they can just put anything on him, like, make him the most evilest man. And people are like, okay. And then you're just like, you know what? Mind wipe him for the 15,000th time. And then he's fine.
The first 3 times he appeared as Green Goblin, it was an explosion or whatever, that then he forgot he was the Green Goblin.
And then something would trigger it to come back, and he remembers everything plus more.
Yeah. I'm like, oh well, but then you after when he came back, and you're like, this man has a history of mental issues.
Yeah, should we trust this guy?
But it's like, okay, he's got actual mental problems.
Yeah.
And I can see from way back, but all the stuff they wrote into his past, I see why.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay. Yeah, like you're saying, how can we trust this guy with Hammer?
Yeah, Hammer. Yeah, it's just
Shield, whatever.
Shield, everything. You had some. Right, the whole Hammer thing made me laugh. Right, you got rid of Tony Stark because he accidentally, didn't see the Skrull invasion coming, and then he becomes fugitive. But you're like, you know what? We could trust Tony Stark. He doesn't have a shady record, but this guy, Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
We know, we have like a whole history on him. But he did shoot that the Queen Skrull in the head. So that must make up for the terrorist things he's done over the years. Let's put him in charge of Hammer. Well, Shield becomes Hammer. Yeah, it's like, wow. You can't deserve what comes next. Like, you know what I mean? You can't deserve.
Yeah. And to wrap this up quickly, we will just cover the live action versions, which of 2, because there's Norman Osborn.
Yep.
Green Goblin.
Yep.
There's the new Goblin, or whatever Harry Osborn was called in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah. New Goblin.
And then there's Harry Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man, and there's a Norman in there as well.
Yeah. Oh wait. Breaking news. So wait. Spider-Man later tested Harry's blood to reveal that Harry is in fact the father of that baby with Menace. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
Stanley Osborn. Great name. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look. Harry's had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's not even had 1. So.
No. Well.
I don't get why they couldn't just, when they had 4 Spider-Man titles and they had Ben Reilly in there. Ben Reilly go off and be Scarlet Spider in 2 of those titles. Then you got Peter Parker with Mary Jane as a family. and their baby or whatever in the other two.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's working with Ultimate Spider-Man now, so
Yeah. I don't get why they're like Marvel, right? They're okay giving certain characters kids and stuff,
yeah,
and then Spider-Man's the only one like, no.
yeah, exactly. We won't do the Ultimate Goblins.
No.
That's something in itself. But because I've mentioned them already, the movie Goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just quickly tag them on the end. I did like how they portrayed Norman in this, and they actually pushed up the Goblin formula, giving him that mental psychosis.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the bits when he's talking to himself. They were dope.
I think they played it well. That he's definitely got like. I don't think they had time to say that he had mental issues before the same as because Harvey Dent had mental issues before it became Two-Face,
Yeah,
right?
and it just amplifies it after. And
Yeah. Because his dad would be like, "Oh, let's flip this coin. If it goes heads, I'll beat you. I'll take my beat and I'll beat you across with a belt. And if it lands on tails, you'll be all right. It's a two-headed coin."
Yeah. I always win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, but he wasn't as well in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He was not a great father to Harry.
No.
Not a terrible father.
Yeah, he was like it will do father. I mean, like, yeah. I care about you slightly, but
yeah. I mean, you could be better, Harry, but
yeah, I'm not gonna push.
One time that he snapped at Harry in the first Spider-Man movie, and he's like, when you know that girl's only with you, that Mary Jane, right? That girl's only with you for your money. So do what you need to do with her, and then bring her fast. And then when he came back in the room, and Aunt May's like, Harry Osborn, right? How you just like why did you just let him say that stuff about Mary Jane? And then Harry says to Mary Jane, "Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about."
He's a great man, and I could be half the person.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, okay.
Oh, that's abuse, right? I mean, like that is like mental. That's like mental abuse. That.
Yeah. Oh
no.
I was mistaken. Yeah. So when he comes back in the room, Mary Jane calls him out on it.
Yeah.
And then after Harry snaps at Mary Jane, who then ends up leaving, Aunt May's like, "Harry Osborn."
Yeah.
You know, contain yourself.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, she didn't actually say it like that.
But yeah, it was indicated that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Harry having the wanting to live up to his father's legacy, apparently, which includes killing Spider-Man.
Yeah. And make him very silly.
Yeah. If your dad was terrorizing everyone, why would
the
next line of logic is like, yeah, he did it. I should do it because Spider-Man killed him, even though he's killed a whole bunch of people. Yeah.
Now you're saying I literally didn't think of it. Like, yeah, it's dumb, right? He saw the stuff his dad did, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he didn't know, and he knows his dad was Green Goblin because obviously he finds the bunker and that stuff. So when you like, oh, Spider-Man's all right. You know what I mean? Like, he probably didn't go out his way to like. He had no reason not to kill the Green Goblin, even if he did kill him. You know what I mean? It's like so.
Yeah.
You're weird, and then the butler, but that's another.
Yeah.
Plot hole anyway, but yeah.
I didn't mind how they finished the Harry Osborn. I say the saga, but he helped Peter to fight Sandman and Venom at the end. And okay, he got an ending like he sort of did in the comics that way. You're my best friend.
Yeah.
What else would I do?
I love you, Pete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dies. You're like, oh, so there's no more Osborns.
Yeah, even though I think Spider-Man 3, like we were saying before, it's overstuffed and it's a bit convoluted, and they should have just concentrated on Harry and someone else as a villain rather than having Venom and Sandman in there as well.
Yeah. I try to shoehorn too much in. Yeah. But,
and in the Amazing Spider-Man films, where Normals was dying of that genetic disease.
Yeah.
And then, so you don't really see him.
No, you just see his hand.
Yeah. And I'm kind of glad they I was like, no, you don't need Norman again. It's fine.
Yeah, we know this by now. Yeah.
Then when Harry came back in the second one, and immediately was like, yeah, I'm gonna be, because you could tell he's just gonna be turning into the Goblin in that. I'm like, yeah, but if you had cast Harry in the first one, at least you could have led towards it.
Yeah, a little bit of even mentioned him in the first one. Like then you sort of have that little. The only mention of Oscorp in the first one was that's where he got bit by the spider. I mean, like, there's nothing else.
Yeah. So it was just like, oh yeah, well, we were gonna have Harry be Green Goblin, right? Right.
Yeah. It only makes sense, right? Right.
Yeah, because he's have that genetic disease, whatever as well, and then for some reason Spider-Man's blood can cure him. But how do you know? Whatever.
Yeah. But I did like how Spider-Man's like, how do you even know this? I mean, like, I did like that. Yeah. It's like that seemed like a big jump in logic.
To be fair as well, Richard Parker's DNA could unlock the spider sample to turn Peter Parker into Spider-Man. So it's like, and that's apparently what they were researching the entire formula for from the very beginning, because it was like, oh yeah, I tell you what, yeah, we'll fund you for this, but actually, it's for my special.
Because I'm dying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought they rushed him as well. I know they had to give him a tech suit, which I thought made sense.
Yeah.
And then when he's all caught, when he's captured and stuff like that, he's like, oh yeah, it comes in, it goes, the Goblin transformation.
Yeah, I was like, because that you can tell they kind of going with the ultimate version of Green Goblin, like the transformation. Yeah. Because I didn't mind the suit and all that. The look was like his face looked weird. I was like, yeah. But I didn't mind the suit and the glider and that. But like you said, it just felt rushed. Oh, okay.
And then he captured Gwen Stacy. Like he found out Peter Parker was no. So he's like, all right, well, Electro fights Spider-Man, and then the last 10 minutes, he's Harry's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find Spider-Man. I'm gonna kill him now as well.
Yeah.
And then looks at Gwen Stacy, looks at Peter, looks at Spider-Man, works out, oh, you're Peter Parker. And then we're gonna rush to the death of Gwen Stacy like 5 minutes after this. Okay.
Even though I still think like that's one of I like the death scene of Gwen, like that bit. I did like that how it played out, but yeah, it just seemed rushed.
Because Harry wasn't much of a threat whatsoever. He just got like thrown off in the clock tower where he couldn't really do much with maneuverability at the same time, right? He just got knocked out and punked off to the side, and that was that.
Yeah. But hey, he sucks.
Yeah. And moving on to the end now of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yes, good that they resurrected the Green Goblin for that story. Yeah. And good that they gave him a purple
vest.
Well, it was a purple robe with checkered green and black patterns on the outside. So then after the brawl with Spider-Man, he had the Goblin hood. Yeah. And the Goblin and a purple thing around his waist. So okay, purple tatters, and you're like, okay, this looks like a Green Goblin.
Yeah, I did like that. Like that's good that they didn't just go with the old Raimi one. And he's like, and
there was that tease for when Harry in the Sam Raimi universe was gassing himself with the Goblin formula, and he had the Green Goblin mask, and then he had a Gold Goblin mask, which Hobgoblin, right? Yeah. And then forgo that stuff.
I was gonna wear like skater gear. Yeah, I'm gonna be a snowboarder. Yeah.
Did you see, by the way, the prototype actual Goblin facial mask? I
think it looks cool. I think it looks cool, but I don't know if like it looks cool, but I feel like because of the time it was in. You would have got the same, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not the first one, but they had effort into it. Like the later ones was like, oh, this is not the same animatronics you used for the.
Yeah, and I think also it's because it didn't look like. It looked like armor or something like that. Like that sort of textured face wouldn't work for it. Like the Ben Affleck Batman costume, where it looked like it's molded on the shape of the body or whatever.
Yeah.
If the Green Goblin had a suit like that and then he had a face mask like that, fine.
Yeah.
They'd work together.
Yeah. But
in this instance, but I do think the Green Goblin mask they did wear was way too long.
Yeah. Like, it even had the protruding chin in it. Yeah.
A Xenomorph style head.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that. It was,
I don't think they knew. I mean, I don't think they knew.
It was certainly something.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Oh, by the way, so call back to how I introduced myself, right?
Yes.
So it was so when I was talking about how the Spider-Man, the full Spider-Man titles got cancelled in the 90s, and then it was Peter Parker Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They also ran a comic called Untold Tales of Spider-Man.
Okay.
No, Spider-Man Chapter 1, sorry.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Chapter 1.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Norman and Flint Marko. Norman Osborn and Flint Marko are cousins somehow because of their hair. And then they just kind of decided, you know what, Spider-Man Chapter 1 actually doesn't
exist.
No. What's the point? What's the point?
That would have been a cool. Because, like, there's lots of people randomly related in, like, the Marvel Universe, I don't think.
Like, yeah, but these are only related because of the way their hair was.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a panel where I think Spider-Man dug up Harry's body to check if he was
actually
alive
dead
or not, for real.
Yeah.
After the One More Day thing. And Harry's hair was still on his head, even though his face, all the flesh on his, it was like bones and whatnot. So it's like, are the grooves indented into their skull? Is that what it's saying?
Maybe. That would
Who
make
knows exactly? Who
little
knows?
sense.
But yes, that will conclude us for this episode on the Spider-Man villains, which are not the Hobgoblins.
No,
because we need to cover them, and I want to say they deserve their own.
Yeah, because they've got so many spin-offs and branches. Yeah,
it's just because they're also very multiple people wearing those masks as well.
Yeah,
with convolutedness also.
Yes. Yeah. And branches.
You would have thought, by the way, this would be the most, like, very straightforward, yeah. And maybe you got a couple of people picking up the guises during those years, yeah. But then it's like, okay, well, Norman's dominating all over the place.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff that have to be inserted in the middle of it because he died.
Yeah.
And you come back and then he's like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah. Norman.
Yeah, I have to say I'm not the most number one Norman Osborn fan, because I just find it's like, yeah, Norman, take a step back for a moment, you know.
If they didn't use him as much as they did, I think he'd be more impactful.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
First of all, because he's losing to a teenage kid at that point, right?
Yeah.
He's like a 40-plus-year-old man.
Yep.
Okay. You know, how much? What's your threat level? You know.
Yeah. Like I would, like, in Marvel hero, like, villain rankings, right? I would put him near, like, the level of Magneto. But with Magneto, right, he's a villain. Even now that he's a hero, I still say he's got villain tendencies, right? He's not an anti-hero, right? But at least he's been consistent with, like, his portrayal, right?
To a decent level of consistent.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like, you know what, I'm going to be on the good side a little bit, and then sometimes he's like, you know what, I'm going to go destroy the world.
Yeah.
From the
which I'll give to Marvel for the last, like, say, 20 years since, like, the Grant Morrison run of X-Men.
Yeah.
He hasn't been that, like, flip-flop, like, I'm destroying the world now. But he's literally like, I'm defend mutants. I'm not going to murder the world or anything, because that's not the way to go about it. But with Norman, it's just like they just add more and more to, like, his legacy, but in a bad way, like you said, like having kids with, like, a possibly underage girl, but then it's not a thing, and then possibly being the father of his son's girlfriend's child. You know what I mean? It's all yeah, and then they choose when to, like, now, like, he's a good guy now because we wiped his memories and he wants to return. Yeah, it's just okay.
Oh yeah, because it's the silliness they're doing with Ben Riley. What they've done with Ben Riley, right?
Oh, I'm reading the Spider-Man, like, because I'm in the middle of reading the Spider-Man Beyond storyline where how he becomes Chasm. Is it Chasm?
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, wow, man, this guy.
Yeah. So currently, at the point of recording, Spider-Man is not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Peter Parker is not Peter Parker. He's Ben Riley. And actual Peter Parker Spider-Man is off some planet somewhere.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So that makes sense then.
I just spoiled. Did I
I don't care. No,
Like,
no,
were you up to that point, or did you?
no, nowhere near that. But that makes sense.
Go on. Give me the backstory of what you've just locked onto.
Oh no, because like currently right now, all new Venom is Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And there's a panel where she goes to see him, and he's like, "I have no time for
Peter
this."
Parker, you mean?
Yeah. But Venom and MJ go to see Peter Parker. He just walks past them, goes to his apartment, says, "I have no time for this." And I was like, "No, okay, that makes sense now. If that's not actually Peter Parker, that's Ben Riley. He doesn't have no time. He doesn't."
Another guy, by the way, who has been super character assassinated.
Yeah. Died for many years and came back, and then was killed many times, and then became a villain because of the. All right, of becoming. I was about to say the Vulture. What was Miles Warren's name again?
Miles Warren, the
Jackal, yeah. And then becoming Scarlet Spider, but then having a weird thing. There was two Scarlet Spiders at one time, and then
King Parker was also Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, who people thought was dead, but then wasn't dead. And then he became Spider-Man recently, and then the Beyond Corporation was working for picked him because they knew he had like problems and he wanted to be better. Like he had delusions of grandeur and stuff like that, and then he wiped his mind, and then he stopped scaring, and then he becomes. So I'm kind of getting to that point where how he actually becomes Chasm, but. Wow.
So maybe we'll do a Ben Riley episode at some point.
Yeah.
But I have to wait for that to wrap up first.
Yeah.
And I know you're not the greatest Ben Riley fan or anything like that, but
I don't mind. I like Ben Riley. I just. Wait, no, I do like Ben Riley.
I just don't think what they're attempted to do with him is just a bit silly.
Yeah.
In the sense of that's not what you would do with Peter. So really,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on, wrapping up.
Yeah.
Finishing.
Wrapping up. Yes.
Yeah. So the Green Goblins. I'd like to say, who are your favorite Green Goblins? But at this point, there's only two major contenders. That'd be Norman and Harry.
Yeah.
And neither of them have succeeded in killing Spider-Man. No. So
the only Green Goblin that succeeded in killing Spider-Man was the ultimate Green Goblin. But yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And he's another one unto himself. Yeah.
And technically, that doesn't count anymore.
Punisher did it. Well, did Punisher shoot Spider-Man?
Punisher shot Spider-Man by accident, and then Green Goblin punched him into oblivion. So
yeah.
But then he didn't die because apparently, in that universe, the Spider-Man formula, whatever it is, makes you immortal. Mm-hmm. But in that universe, that doesn't exist anymore. So hey.
Yeah. So I will say most people's favorite Green Goblin, surely not the artificial construct that got created out of nowhere and then melded away.
Yeah.
Nor about Bart Hamilton, because he hasn't been appearing since the 70s. So you're only left with either Norman, Harry, or Phil Ulrich. And Phil Ulrich was only Green Goblin for like a small little run. So
a couple of issues and then
I'm not surprised if most people say that their default Green Goblin that they most have a favorite is Norman. But that's because he's appeared in the movies and stuff, so he's got a bit more name value.
Yeah. But hey, we'll see.
Yeah, I think probably Harry had the better psychological story.
Yeah. So I was gonna say we could mention what's her name, Green Goblin from 2099, but no, she's a woman. That's it. That's all I already know.
29. Oh yeah, and there's also Green Goblin from 2211 or something like that as well.
Yeah, and
that Spider-Man had 6 arms and stuff like that in the high-tech future.
And there's also Green Goblin from the noir Green Goblin, who was basically the same as the ultimate Green Goblin. Yeah.
Except that because they're in the noir universe, he has to be a Grey Goblin.
Yeah, because there's no color. Yeah, so he's just called Goblin. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hilarious.
But yes. So I guess what I'll say is, what's your favorite Green Goblin story? Because that'd probably be a bit better. Like, because then you can wrap up the anyone that's read most stuff with Norman.
Yeah.
But there's good Harry Osborn ones as well. So let us know what your opinion is on those certain stories. Maybe some of the stories we haven't read. Well, I know you haven't read some of the ones from Midnight, but I haven't read more recent ones. So what do you guys think of Goblin Nation or the Red Goblin Saga?
Red Goblin Saga, the Golden Goblin Saga.
Yeah.
Gold Goblin
the Grey
Saga.
Goblin Saga.
Grey Goblin
God, I don't know what to know about that.
That never happened. Yeah,
Yeah. What's your opinions on Sins Past? And whether the retcon to Sins Past was actually worth it?
Yeah. It helps people sleep at night now, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly helped Nick Spencer, who for 20 years decided, you know what?
I hate this so much. I'm going
yeah.
Respect to that. Oh gosh. Oh. So yeah, that's us. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to us. Like CY said, let us know about your your goblin preferences, and and then soon you'll hear our hobgoblin / demo goblin / goblin.
Well, they're related together, so it's not as if you can't speak about demo goblin without speaking about hobgoblin.
Yeah.
And technically the jack-o'-lantern as well, but
which is hilarious as well. Oh, rip off of a rip off,
yeah, side rate rip off.
So if you're listening to this, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you're watching YouTube, and leave a comment down below. If you're listening to Audio Realm, don't forget to give us a review and tell your friends about us. And I have been the man who tricks his son to raise a child, but then the child's actually his child, Carl Charles.
And I'm the man who slept with Gwen Stacy, except that I did not, CY Chong.
And thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Boo.